A lot of things, a lot of whites today, 1978, think black people talk bad. But you fail to stop and realize, white friends, that Southern whites taught Africans English. Think about that in a moment. See, Africa didn't know nothing about this here and and yonder and grown and get it and and Swanee. Not African, and Southern whites taught. They said, no, boy, goddamn it, I didn't tell you to get that there. I told you to get that over yonder. Now chunk it over here, boy. Chunk it. Africans say, ooma gooma. Which means chunk that shit yourself and fuck you, you redneck son of a bitch. You, I ain't lifting nothing. You and your mama both can kiss my black ass.
What's good? It's your brother YK The Truth. And I was thinking about some people. When I think about the lost tribe of Israel, and I think about, different cultures and different people claiming to be the lost tribe of Israel, you have Native Americans who think that they are the lost tribe of Israel.
I'm talking about the copper-colored native tribes that were here. And I'm going to connect this. And I hope you can take this journey with me to see that it might even be Hebrew tribes, lost tribes. We'll see.
You have African Americans, the so-called African Americans with the black Hebrew Israelites.
Honduran, right? Because according to the Bible, you God's chosen people from the tribe of Zebulon. You understand? You being a Jamaican, you from the tribe of Benjamin. You being Dominican. You understand? Simeon, right? These are our nationalities.
And when I think of it, I think of a dollar, right? Now I'm gonna break this down to y'all, yo. The psychology behind the lost dollar. All right. Now, black people, we have lost our identity. When we was brought to America, when our ancestors was brought to America, we lost our name, our religion, our culture. We lost everything. So we are already ripe for taking other people's identity. So I lose my dollar, right? All right. So here it goes, right? Now check this out. Check this out. There's a dollar on the floor that somebody lost. Somebody lost this dollar. Now everybody wants to prove that they lost a dollar. Okay?
Check your person's name.
It's not. It was right here with my phone. I promise to God, baby.
No,
Baby, I was sitting right here. It is my $100.
No, it's not.
Oh my God, this lady is gonna tell me that's not, baby. That's my money.
It's my $100. It was a
She
joke.
was mad.
It was a joke.
It was a joke. It was a joke.
Everybody want to prove that that's their dollar. All right. Now here's the problem. One person might say, "Well, you see that wrinkle on that dollar? That dollar was mine." You see what I'm saying? That you see the wrinkle? Do you see that wrinkle? My dollar had a wrinkle on it. Well, the other person said my dollar had a wrinkle on it too. And my dollar had a wrinkle on it, so it's my dollar. Another person gonna say, well, look, my dollar had George Washington on it. Well, my dollar had George Washington on it. So they look for similarities, and we call that cherry picking. You see how each and every one went to the dollar and said that their dollar had a wrinkle on it. Stay with me. Everybody said their dollar had a wrinkle on it. Now, I'm going to break it down to how that relates to these lost Israel theories, because they're nothing but theories, okay? You had a bunch of Europeans who came to the New World, and they was wondering about the people who were there. They seen those people having similar practices You get where this is going. Circumcision. Fired certain types of clothing, the way they dressed. So they created a hypothesis. It's a theory. It's a guess. It said, well, these people must have been the lost tribe because they have similarities with us. That's my dollar. My dollar had a wrinkle in it. But when you cherry pick, this is what a lot of people do. Like a lot of these so-called black natives, and I'm not talking about the people who have native ancestry. I'm talking about the people who believe that we are from America. Because I don't want people to feel like I'm attacking people with native ancestry. That's not what I'm doing. If you have native ancestry, that's cool. Like, I'm not against that. I'm against the people that's saying we was already here. The slave trade never happened.
Because it's going to be very, very difficult for you to make it in that goddamn ship, at the bottom of that goddamn ship for 3 months. When the food get low. Do the math. For real, for real. Do the motherfucking math. Seriously. And just ushering everybody in on boats the long goddamn way. They not stopping. Ain't no bathrooms on that motherfucker. Come on now. Come on now.
Things like that. When you start spewing garbage like that, then you are on my radar. So let me get back to this. This is what a lot of natives, fake indigenous people do. They cherry pick information. Okay? They go to these old, outdated books that say, and they cherry pick the information that they're looking for. And they leave all the evidence that disproves them alone. Okay? So they will go and cherry pick Jack D. Forbes and get what they need out of that book while leaving all of the information that says that they are African people and native people. So if there was only one race of people, why are you not accepting being an African? Why do we not see that there's two different names? Africans and natives and Indians. Okay? Black people. All throughout those outdated books, they distinguish two different people. Two different people. But they always want to go and see, well, the copper-colored people and the olive-toned and the swarthy and playing all of these names, and they cherry-pick information. Now, let me get back to the lost dollar. All right? Now, everybody dollar had a wrinkle on it. But one person dollar said E. The other person dollar said G. But the person don't bring that to their attention. Like, look, your dollar had a wrinkle, but your dollar also had a different alphabet. So it can't be your dollar. But that person never brings it to the table that they dollar had a G on it. They never even say it had a G on it. They just go by the wrinkle so people could believe them. Like, there are similarities with because we're human. If you go to Kemet, you see pyramids. If you go to Mesoamerica, you see pyramids. All cultures have similarities. We all have the same fears. This is why you find different mythologies that are similar. Similar. It doesn't mean that the natives are the tribe of Judah or the lost tribe. It doesn't mean that black Hebrews are the lost tribe. The black Hebrews just went to the Bible and cherry picked the part that fits what they went through. Not understanding that a lot of that shit already happened already. They leave that part out. That there was a Jewish diaspora in the Bible. So where do you get this transatlantic slave trade from?
Now, or actually we just left the beach where our ancestors were brought in, and we just crossed the street from the beach to the harbor to where they were taken in on boats to be sold in the city of Charleston.
And if there's a transatlantic slave trade, we are not from Israel, but we're from West Africa. Do you see what I mean by the lost dollar? Everybody got a wrinkle. One person got a 5 on a dollar, had a 5. The other person had a 8. But they're not going to tell you that. They're just going to use the information that proves them right. I want everybody to look up the word cherry pick. When you go to a lot of these Cootie Mayo, Dane Calloway, all of these people, they cherry pick the information to fit their narrative. And I want you to be aware. I want you to be aware of this shit. So when you see it, you could recognize and you could think about that lost dollar.
Might be out of your thinking, but what if I told you that the tribes that were here on this side of the world, American continents, north, south, central, a lot were the biblical tribes talked about in the Old Testament?
Wait a minute. He's using this man's book, and all of this man is doing is finding similarities. So he's actually doing the same exact thing that the researcher is doing. Did you hear what I just said? He's doing the same thing that the researcher is doing. He's going to these people to see the similarities to form his theory and then denying all the differences. And this is what we do in life, period. We remember the wins and we forget the loss. You ever thought about somebody and then they call and then you be like, yo, I was thinking about you. Every time I'm thinking about, but you don't never remember the times you was thinking about that person and they didn't call. So no, Native Americans are not the lost tribe of Israel. African Americans, the so-called African Americans, are not the lost tribe of Israel. Okay? We come from West Africa. We have our own culture. We are lost because we lost our identity. And this is why we're everything under the sun today. We're aliens.
I am an ET. I'm gonna keep it a buck, bro. I am
Exactly.
ET. My blood can't be traced to no being on this planet. I'm O. I'm O positive. My blood can't be traced to no being on this planet. That's a fact. Can you trace it? Go do your research on that. And guess what? That is a fact. But anyway, if you talk about
no brother, O positive is the most common blood type in the world. What is wrong with you? See, when you make unscientific statements like that, you make yourself hypercombust. O positive is the most common blood type.
Why is it the most common?
Because a lot of people got that blood type.
So what a lot of people do? What?
We're Hebrews. We're natives. We're Mayans. We're Olmecs. We're everything. Everything. And this is what happens when your identity has been stolen from you. Because then any black person gets to fit what makes them feel good. I'm a Christian. I'm a Muslim. I'm this. So, and then this is when the disunity comes in, because we're always fighting about who we are. When at the end of the day, we should go by based on how much evidence we have. There's too much evidence that shows we come from Africa. There's not enough evidence to prove that we was already here. You can't take a DNA test. When you have to start denying things, then you know that you don't have the right information. Your information should not be based on what you can deny. I don't like DNA tests is not real. I don't believe NASA. So remember this video, The Lost Dollar, Lost Tribe of Israel. It's your brother YK The Truth, and I'm out. Peace.
My father was born here. His father was born here. His father was brought here. Was fishing too close to the river in Africa. Snatched his black ass right up off the shore. Come on, nigga, goddammit, North Carolina. A lot of things, people, a lot of whites today, 1978, think black people talk bad. But you fail to stop and realize, white friends, that Southern whites taught Africans English. Think about that in a moment. See, Africa didn't know nothing about this here and and yonder and grown and get it and and Swanee. Not African, it's Southern whites taught. They said, no, boy, goddamn it, I didn't tell you to get that there. I told you to get that over yonder. Now chunk it over here, boy, chunk it. Africans say, ooma gooma. Which means chunk that shit yourself and fuck you, you redneck son of a bitch. You, I ain't lifting nothing. You and your mama both can kiss my black ass. But if you don't understand African, you get lost. You gotta, is that dress on backwards? Jesus. The baby will never go hungry.